ambitious professionals, it's Linda Rayner of lindarayner.com, guiding you to a career and life you'll truly enjoy. Now, if you happen to be a hiring manager, recruiter, or HR professional, then you are in luck, because today's episode is actually the third of a 5-week special series that I'm doing right here on YouTube, where I'm going to be teaching you how to recruit the best job candidates for your company. And in this particular video, I will be sharing with you my key signs that you should be looking out for when you're wanting to identify a candidate who has strong potential and who is actually going to last at your company. Ready to get the job you want? Top-notch interview is coming soon. For more info and free training, head to jointni.com. Now, as a career strategist, I've had the honor of being able to help numerous professionals land their dream job offers. And so if this is something that you're interested in working with me one-on-one, I can give you details about that at the end of this video. As a former recruiter and someone who has worked directly with HR professionals and hiring managers, I have seen it where there are these candidates who look great on paper and even are great in person that are hired into these companies and then are let go not long after that. Now, making the mistake of hiring someone who's not the right fit for your company, but thinking that they were when you first hired them, is something that happens all the time. So you shouldn't feel ashamed if you have made this mistake in the past. And that's why what I have to share with you today is extremely important, because you don't want to make the same mistake twice, and you don't want to hire someone just based on their communication skills. There are key things that you really need to be paying attention to if you really want to find the right person who's going to last in your organization. So today I'm going to share with you my 3 signs that you should look out for to determine a great potential employee and who you should hire right away. Sign number 1, they've stayed at their previous companies a good amount of time. When you're searching for an experienced candidate, it's obvious that you have to look for people who have been able to show longevity in their previous companies and who have been able to stay at their previous positions for a decent amount of time. Now, the length of time is subjective, but I would say on average 3 years would be a good amount of time for an individual to prove that they can hold a job at a company and that they can demonstrate their value in that organization. If you notice candidates are staying at their companies for less than a year and you're noticing it happening multiple instance after instance, and these are permanent positions, not just contract positions, then that is a red flag. It likely means that they easily get bored and they're not a strong performer, and that's why they're constantly jumping to try to find greener pastures. Now, what about job candidates who have large gaps in their resume, but their experience for what they do have is relevant? Personally, I think that it's extremely important to pay attention to these candidates and find out the exact reason for their gaps. A lot of the time, people have significant gaps in their resume because they took that time off to raise their children or they were a caregiver. And in my mind, I feel that these types of people should be considered because they're actually probably more motivated, extra motivated than the typical job candidate to do well in their next position. Again, this is all subjective and based on your own judgment, but I would say be willing and open to consider candidates who have a bit of a gap in their resume, because if they have relevant experience and you can tell that they're highly motivated and they seem to have done well in their previous roles, then even with their situation where they were faced with having to take a break or having a gap in their resume, they can still perform or even outperform the job candidate who's just jumping and hopping to another position. Sign number 2 of a great job candidate is to ask yourself, are you being wooed by their savvy communication skills, or do they truly have potential? Now, here's the thing. If you are fairly new in the recruiting world, hiring manager world, it can be very easy for you to get caught up in the moment when you meet a job candidate who seems to have amazing communication skills and who's able to answer your questions well. And now here's the thing that you really need to know. There are people out there who are great, naturally great interviewees, but are not great employees. They're the job candidates who in the interview seem friendly, charismatic, they seem to have answered your questions really well, they told great stories, but then once you hire them, what happens is you find that there was really no substance behind the mask. You really want to be careful of this as a hiring manager because these are the most costly hires. Because of how savvy they are with their communication skills, they may be undiscovered for months or even years, having lack of productivity, but showcasing a persona that they are hardworking and that they are doing their jobs. And it could be a while before everyone starts to realize that they're not the right fit for the organization. So how do you prevent this from happening? Well, in the interview, you don't just want to listen to what the interviewee is telling you. You want to listen, but pay attention to their mannerisms, pay attention to what they're really saying in between the lines, get a gut feel for this individual and try to visualize them in the actual position and try to see if you can determine whether this person really is the right fit for the company, really is the right fit for the job based on not just the words that are coming out of their mouth, but the way their body language is and just the way that they feel to you. You have to trust your gut on this one. It can't be just something that you see on paper. You have to be able to ask yourself, do I see this person being able to join the company, catch on to the processes quickly, and being able to stay at this company for a good amount of time? Only you will be able to answer this question. And finally, sign number 3 of a great job candidate. They've progressed in their career and haven't held stagnant roles. If you're looking to hire someone who you want to be a top performer in your company, then you need to pay closer attention to their progression throughout their existing career. If after looking at their resume, you notice that they haven't changed job titles or levels for the longest amount of time, even going to other companies, they're still at the same level, then that shows a lack of progression in that candidate, and that tells you whether that is the fit for what you're looking for or whether it's not. Now, there's nothing wrong with these types of candidates. There is a place and role for each of everyone. But it goes back to you being clear on the type of person that you're looking for, whether you want someone who's going to be steady and stay in the same position for a while, or whether you're looking for someone who will rise to the top in your organization. But someone who has quickly progressed in one company or across multiple companies, even better, demonstrates that they have leadership potential, they are fast learners, and they're able to handle challenges. But just remember that if you are trying to hire a top performer into your organization and knowing that this person will likely want to move up in their career in the next couple of years, and you don't have an opportunity for them to be able to do that, you can't foresee that there is growth opportunity for them, then don't hire them, because they're going to look for growth, and if they can't find it where you are at, they're going to look for it elsewhere, and you'll end up having to hire someone else all over again. So there you have it, my 3 signs on what to look for in a great job candidate. Now, if you happen to be someone who is a job candidate, you've been looking for the last few months, you haven't been getting any offers, and you realize that you need one-on-one professional help, then feel free to reach out to me. Head on over to my website, lindarainer.com/standoutgethired, read through the page, fill out the application form, and from there, if it seems that we're a match to work together, one of my teammates will be reaching out to you directly. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ready to get the job you want? Top-notch interview is coming soon. For more info and free training, head to jointni.com.